Come on out, sir. Over here, come on.
I initially talked to Mr. Howard outside the front door, and then I walked past him into the house.
Sit up here, okay? Let me see what
Looked around the living room, didn't see her, and I didn't remember exactly where she was supposed to be, so I went back out.
Sir, upstairs in the bathroom. She's upstairs in the bathroom? Okay, upstairs in the bathroom. Let's go.
And so then I went back upstairs and found her.
And can you describe what you saw in the bathroom?
I saw a woman naked in the bathtub with an apparent gunshot wound.
Daniel Howard resigned from his job as an Idaho state trooper on November 14, 2014, amid a criminal case against him, alleging a variety of offenses ranging from using a fake name to apply for the title to a motorcycle to terrorizing his wife's lover, according to the Spokane Spokesman Review. Kendy Howard reportedly had told her husband in 2013 about having been romantically involved with his friend, Matthew Wood. Prosecutors said Howard poured syrup in the man's vehicles, left him vulgar messages, fired a shotgun at his home, and threatened to kill him, according to the newspaper. Damaging Wood's property with corn syrup, stealing his gun, stealing his mail, placing the anonymous letter in Wood's mailbox, placing the graffiti on his lawn, following him in a patrol car, pointing a rifle at him, and even shooting his roof with a shotgun were done in a way to cause the most emotional damage to Wood, but limit any physical evidence. The perpetrator was Daniel Howard, a detective wrote in an affidavit. The events leading up to the trial are nothing short of disturbing. On the fateful day of February 2, 2021, a horrifying discovery shook the quiet town of Athol. Kendy Howard was found lifeless in the bathtub of her upstairs master bathroom, a gunshot wound marring her once vibrant existence. The circumstances surrounding her demise painted a disturbing picture of betrayal, greed, and deception. Daniel Howard, former Idaho State Police trooper, had been at the center of the ongoing investigation into the circumstances surrounding Kendy's death, leading to a trial that has revealed shocking details. The case has been riddled with inconsistencies, and the trial testimony has painted a grim picture of a woman who met a tragic end at the hands of someone she once trusted. Just days prior to this tragic incident, the unraveling of a marriage had unearthed a web of deceit and betrayal. Daniel Howard, Kendy's husband, stumbled upon the shocking revelation of her extramarital affair and her calculated plan to claim half of his assets in the impending divorce settlement. These unsettling revelations set the stage for a harrowing turn of events. On the night of Kendy Howard's untimely demise, only she and Daniel were present within the confines of their home. Daniel claimed to have been engrossed in paperwork when he purportedly heard a disturbing thud emanating from the upper floor. Alarmingly, he chose to investigate the source of the sound nearly 2 hours later, a delay that raised grave suspicions. During the subsequent investigation and trial proceedings, harrowing testimonies and puzzling inconsistencies came to light, casting a shadow of doubt over the official narrative of Kendy's death. Daniel's peculiar behavior on the night of the incident, characterized by tearless crying, raised eyebrows and sowed seeds of skepticism among the deputies and investigators. Investigators, upon examining Kendy Howard's lifeless form, noted disturbing irregularities in the positioning of her body within the bathtub, further fueling the suspicion shrouding her demise. The initial ruling by the Spokane County Medical Examiner, deeming the manner of Kendy's death as undetermined, failed to assuage the growing skepticism of the authorities. Subsequent probing into the circumstances surrounding Kendy Howard's demise yielded a chilling revelation that shattered the facade of a suicide. The evidence presented by medical experts and forensic pathologists painted a chilling narrative of premeditated murder, meticulously disguised as a self-inflicted tragedy. Through meticulous analysis of family interviews and autopsy reports, a disturbing pattern of frequent inconsistencies emerged, casting a long shadow of doubt over the purported suicide. A consensus among medical experts and forensic pathologists emerged, pointing to a haunting conclusion. Kendy Howard was not alive when the fatal shot was fired. Instead, the evidence suggested a sinister act of asphyxiation preceding the fatal gunshot, meticulously engineered to simulate a self-inflicted fatality.
Can you describe what you saw in the bathroom?
I saw a woman naked in the bathtub with an apparent gunshot wound. There was blood around her coming out of her mouth.
Anything else you could observe in the bathtub besides her?
Yes, there was a gun laying to the right of her in the water, and there was the water was tinted red. Once her pulse was checked, no pulse was found by Deputy 9. Called for medical, and then they came in and announced that she was deceased. And then we cleared the residents upstairs to make sure no one else was in the house.
At some point, did you talk to Mr. Howard after you observed his wife dead upstairs in the bathroom?
I did.
Where did this take place?
Out in the front yard, outside the front door.
And what was that contact all about?
I was trying to get a timeline from Mr. Howard of when he had last seen his wife and let him know that she was deceased.
Shockingly, expert testimony unveiled the chilling possibility that Kendy's demise might have been facilitated through the application of a neck restraint, a method distressingly familiar to law enforcement personnel. 2 years after Kendy's death, Daniel C. Howard, 57, was arrested on April 21, 2023, in connection to the 2021 murder of his wife, Kendy Howard. He reportedly turned himself in after Kootenai County prosecutors obtained a warrant for his arrest. Nearly 8 months later, court filings show Howard was released from jail on a property bond. Howard's bond was previously set at $1.5 million. The terms of his bond included an 11 p.m. curfew and restrictions, such as not being within 2 miles of an airport. Prosecutors believe that Daniel Howard staged his wife's death to appear as a suicide. Their experts testified that Kendy Howard was choked and that the shot was fired after she was already deceased. On the other hand, the defense has maintained that Kendy Howard took her own life. The trial, which is slated to last 3 weeks, has seen roughly 50 witnesses for the state testifying, including multiple medical experts. The testimony has revealed shocking details about the injuries found on Kendy's body.
These images that you've looked at and told us about, these are all consistent with signs of suffocation.
Suffocation and some sort of trauma to the nose and mouth. And the reason we know it happened while she was still alive and her heart's beating, when we see all the bruising, it goes from here down her jaw and then onto her neck. And if you're dead, you don't bruise. In order to bruise, your heart has to be pumping blood to that part of your body. So you'll see in later photos all the blood that is actually here and going down the neck.
And so can you say that her jaw was not broken because of the impact of the discharge of the gun?
Yes. Now, can discharge of gun cause fractures and broken teeth? Yes. But I don't know if you have pictures of her teeth. Her teeth are pristine. And where you would expect to see with a semi-automatic, the way it works is the top part comes back, called the slide, comes back. So if the gun were pointing like this, you would expect to see injuries to the top tooth, not to the bottom.
Okay, moving on to another injury that Kendy suffered before she died. We've heard some mention of it, but did you see some indications that she had suffered a significant burn before she died?
Oh yes, on her right arm. She suffered a very large area called second-degree burn. First degree is sunburn. Second degree is when you have blisters on the skin. Third degree is called a full thickness burn. But you'll see on her right arm a large area of second degree burn.
Dr. Bill Smock, a forensic expert, testified about the multiple injuries all over Kendy's body, including approximately 30 different blunt force injuries or bruises. The prosecution asked, based upon what you saw in terms of the evidence on her body, her broken jaw, her burn, all these blunt force trauma injuries from her head to her toes, did you develop an option about whether or not this was a suicide or homicide? Prosecutor Arthur Verheeren asked Smock. "Yes, I did," Smock responded from the witness stand. "Mrs. Howard died of a homicide." The evidence presented has led to a clear conclusion that Kendy Howard's death was a homicide, not a suicide. Further inconsistencies found at the crime scene were explained by testimony from a burn expert describing Kendy's wound as a potential defensive wound, indicating that she may have been fighting for her life. Furthermore, the blood flow pattern observed at the scene suggested that Kendy's body was significantly moved after her death. Trauma surgeon Dr. Ryan Rambaran testified that she could not have moved on her own after being shot because the bullet severed her spinal cord. These details paint a grim picture of a woman who was not only brutally attacked, but also manipulated to appear as if she had taken her own life. The trial has also brought to light the psychological state of Kendy Howard leading up to her death. Philip Hanger, a clinical psychologist, testified that Kendy faced significant stressors and was in the process of buying a home near her family. She had rekindled a romance with her high school sweetheart and was excited about transferring to a new location of her employer, closer to her family. Testimony revealed that she had met with a divorce attorney after approximately 25 years of marriage. These details provide a glimpse into the life of a woman who was looking forward to a new chapter, only to meet a tragic end. The arrest of Daniel Howard at Spokane International Airport on Friday evening, March 18, 2024, has cast a shadow of uncertainty over the remainder of the trial. The impact of this arrest on the trial remains unknown, but it has undoubtedly added another layer of complexity to an already convoluted case. The trial has been a roller coaster of emotions, with testimonies from loved ones of Kendy Howard, who have remained adamant that she would never take her own life. The damning evidence collected at the crime scene, coupled with the psychological state of Kendy leading up to her death, have painted a grim picture of a woman who was robbed of her life in the most brutal manner. The tragic case of Kendy Howard serves as a stark reminder of the horrors that can unfold behind closed doors. It is a testament to the importance of seeking justice for those who have been wronged and ensuring that perpetrators are held accountable for their actions. The inconsistencies found at the crime scene and the compelling trial testimony have shed light on the devastating impact of betrayal and the enduring quest for justice in the face of tragedy.
State of Idaho versus Daniel C. Howard. We, the jury, duly impaneled and sworn to the above entitled action for our verdict, unanimously answer the question submitted to us as follows. Count 1, is the defendant Daniel C. Howard guilty or not guilty of domestic battery? Guilty. Count 2, is the defendant Daniel C. Howard guilty or not guilty of murder in the first degree? Not guilty. Is the defendant Daniel Howard guilty or not guilty of second degree murder? Guilty.
First District Judge Lamont Barek will sentence Daniel Howard on May 23rd. He faces a minimum sentence of 10 years in prison and a maximum of life. The verdict of second-degree murder and domestic battery against him has brought a sense of closure to a case that has been marred by betrayal and injustice. Daniel Howard remains in custody, awaiting his sentencing in a small cell at Spokane County Jail.